I probably should have made it a New Year's resolution to show you more of what I'm doing while I'm actually doing it in these videos, rather than doing loads of work and then going, oh, I've done this. But as is typical of when you're working away, you get carried away. You think, oh, I'll get the camera out in a minute, whatever. And here we are, we're getting towards the end of the day again, and I'm now sort of in the process of showing you what I've done. So I will endeavour to do a bit more me actual hands-on in the future. What I've been doing anyway is looking after this fence line here, just extending on. I've picked up a load of new posts today, and you can see there's some older ones in as well which I had kicking around, so I've just used them up. The ones at the far end there are done with my brother Tom the other day. This lot here is sort of what I've done today, and you can see this one here, this big fella, is a straining post. So that's 6 inches diameter, and it's 7 foot long, this one. So obviously it's about 3 foot in the ground. And you can see I'm just sorting out the struts. So these are just mortised in, very, very crude, basic, with a chopper. Just cut out a square mortise, slice it up, stick the end in a couple of nails just to assist with things. Down the other end, it comes in just slightly into the ground, and then it has a stake, just a random stake, this one, that I'll cut down later, and that's just to stop it. What you can do, some people do, I think they call it box straining. You have a wire around the top of here, and that would run back obviously onto that post, and obviously that makes it a nice square and would make it very, very strong, but I'm not worrying about that. I'll just whip this one out here. See, it's just a little shallow little recess, and then just angled and sliced. I used this little hatchet to slice this one down. I had been using the Chris Kane survival tool. That sort of took quite a lot of energy, and wasn't the best finish on what I was doing, because it was a bit more random. So I thought, well, I'll give this a go. This is the one that of course cut me a few weeks ago, but that's healed up nicely, as you can see. And this was great. As you can see, it's very, very thin, so it acts almost like a plane. You can get a real nice clean edge on there, as you can see, considering it's just axe work on a rough old bit. That's pretty good. And I finally understand what they mean about balance, because you don't want to be swinging around way back on the handle. So I'm a bit close there, swinging around way back on the handle. You want to be up here, for this sort of stuff, and it works fantastically. So that has been a really, really good purchase. So we're just cutting off the top section of this post. So obviously the strainer or the strut. This is just the heel post. Slice that off there, and then I can repoint it and I can use it, the remains of it on the other side. This, by the way, silky saw. A lot of people swear by Varco, Laplanders and stuff, the bushcrafty people, anyone that works with trees, tree work, whatever, they'll use a silky saw. This one is about 3 years old, and it's getting quite blunt.
but I'd still cut with that over a Barco or a Felco or whatever any day. One thing you can guarantee, as you get to the end of the day, you're on your last hold, you're going to get a route where you don't want one. And that's why I don't bother with a gym membership. There's the strainer post set up, ready to go. There's the line along there, I'm pulling in that direction, and then obviously I'm going to be carrying on down there. The reason you put these in is obviously you need to be able to tension the wire, so you need a solid post to tension the wire on. And it's worth, if you're doing a run, it's worth doing one of these sort of setups about every 50 meters. If it's dead straight and dead flat, you can get away with further than that, but since the rolls of wire come in 50 meters, it's a sensible sort of breaking point. The other reason you do it is on corners or changes of direction. Right, little talky bit. You'll see here, this is my straining bar. I'm just straining up the bottom line. There's all sorts of different types of straining bars. This is just a simple one. Ideally you'd use this with just single strand wire, but you know, I've done the rest of the fence with this, so I can do it. As you can see, it just grips on to the wire as you pull the handle back, and this has got a curve which slides around the post, so you can hold it lever it around the post, and that'll just work its way around the post. Because there's only one of me here today, I've just improvised a peg just to hold that in place so I can go along the line and staple this on. You'll see the fence has flopped down, but what I'll do as I go down, I'll just put some staples in just to hold that up, just loosely for when I pull the next lines. So that's how I'm straining it today. Now the fence is upright and it's holding itself in tension. I can have a tea break, and it's going to be lovely because here we are, middle of winter, and it is a beautiful sunny day. Light winds. It's great. These are the days that make me love winter. They make up for all the crappy ones. But, I'll show you where we're at with the fence. It's upright. We've got the top and bottom sections nailed on. It's under tension, it's holding its own tension. All we've got to do is run along and whap in the intermediates. So I'm going to have a cup of tea now, and then I'll do that. Well, that's it. We're calling it a day for the fencing. As you can see, I've got the top straining wire on. Same principle as before, using that straining tool. Just use the tool around the post, whapped in a couple of staples just to hold it in position, wrap this round, and then I just went back along the line, dunk, 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 just stapling it all in. Well, we're down in the stream, and I'm going to give you a stream eye view of the fence line. So there we go. There's the corner I got to. I'm coming this way, and I've just got down to spin this round. This really messy bit here. So we've got the end of an old rotten tree here. I need to put a post in there. That's going to have to be a big strainer post again, because I'm changing angle again. Unfortunately, this sycamore that I'm waggling about here has got to come out, because I've got to get this out, which is the old hurdle, which is all wired up and roped up, and the sycamore's grown through it down there. So I've got to get that out and the next one along. But my fence line is going to change angle from there, and then it's going to head off back behind the giant poplar, behind this ash, and sort of go through there. Some of this elder and hawthorn is going to have to come down, hopefully not too much of it. But everything I cut down, it's an opportunity to replant, and to improve, and I have to remember that, because obviously this little patch of land has been an absolute haven for wildlife, birds' nests, blah blah blah. There's masses of voles, masses of beetles, masses of butterflies, because the field was absolutely full of nettle and thistle, and that's prime food source for lots of the varieties of butterflies. So I'm always mindful. Everything I'm doing, I've always got this sort of guilt associated with, do I need to do this? Is it right to do this? And so anything that gets cut out like this will be replaced eventually, not immediately, but it will be replaced eventually by other stuff, because I need to keep that balance between using the land productively for me and keeping it available and healthily stocked for wildlife. So it's always a bit, you're whizzing about with a chainsaw and stuff and hacking things down, but you need to be aware all the time, is this the right course of action?